We all know the friction of breaking a bad habit. You decide to quit smoking or start exercising, only to realize how much of your daily environment is actively stacked against you. For decades, the standard response from health organizations was a simple broadcast: tell people what to do. They ran public service announcements, listed the risks, and waited for the population to change. But information alone rarely overrides a deeply ingrained routine. This timeline marks the evolution of social marketing. The discipline transitioned from simply promoting ideas to focusing entirely on behavior-focused social impact. The goal moved from raising awareness to engineering voluntary action. This chart highlights the two main academic approaches to this problem. Traditionalists rely on a rational economic model, trading one value for another, while convergents argue that behavior is shaped by complex social networks and the spread of innovation. Moving a society requires treating human behavior as a complex system. It demands designing an environment where the better choice is the path of least resistance. The traditionalist model functions on exchange theory. In a social context, the offer is often intangible. A person trades the immediate pleasure of a habit for the long-term benefit of health or self-esteem. This diagram shows the specific mechanics of that interaction. It's a circular flow. The consumer contributes time and physical effort, while the promoter provides information and health outcomes. This feedback loop allows the promoter to refine the intervention based on market research. For this dynamic to function, 5 conditions must be satisfied. Both parties must have something of value and the ability to deliver. They must be free to accept or reject the offer and believe the deal is desirable. These scenarios illustrate the ethical gray area of social exchanges. Offering a limo ride to prevent drunk driving is one thing, but offering cash for sterilization in India pushes the boundaries of influence. Where is the line between an incentive and a bribe? While a clear exchange is the engine of change, these complexities show that it is rarely enough to shift an entire population on its own. Convergent theory acknowledges that decisions are not made in a vacuum. Behavior is shaped by the gravity of social relationships and community networks. We see this in the sanitation initiatives in Bangladesh. Instead of targeting isolated households, the program works through village groups. When influential community leaders adopt new practices, the behavior spreads through peer pressure and local social norms. This colorful bell curve represents the diffusion of innovation model, mapping the spread of new behaviors. A campaign starts with the innovators and early adopters. But to become a standard, it must reach the 50% pragmatists who need evidence the change works. To reach those different groups, marketers map out their stakeholders. This diagram places the core organization in the center, surrounded by primary stakeholders like customers, and an outer layer of secondary stakeholders like the media and government regulators. Effective campaigns reprogram the entire societal ecosystem. They focus on the influencers and regulators to ensure the environment supports the individual's new behavior. Modern strategies are shifting toward network marketing. This moves away from top-down instructions and toward interventions co-created with the community members themselves. In the urban slums of Dhaka, researchers working on cholera interventions don't just provide solutions. They collaborate with residents to identify unsafe water points. They adapt hygiene practices based on real-time feedback from the people living there. To manage these community-driven plans, the traditional marketing 4 Ps must be flipped. Product becomes the behavior, and promotion is replaced by social communication. The definition of price also changes. In a social context, the real cost is rarely financial. It is the emotional effort, the time commitment, and the physical energy required to sustain a new routine. Place becomes accessibility. Behavior change doesn't happen at a retail counter. It happens in the home and the workplace. The intervention must be available exactly where the person spends their time. This level of control isn't about manipulation. It is about removing friction and making the desired behavior the easiest possible choice for the user. A complete behavioral system locks together the engine of exchange, community networks, and these modified marketing controls. This structural approach is far more effective than broadcasting guilt. Impactful communication, like these empty desks at the UN, uses physical evidence to make abstract problems impossible to ignore. This framework applies to any stubborn habit. Look at your own goals, whether it's the gym or stopping body shaming.
and evaluate the real exchanges you are making every day. Social marketing is the meticulous engineering of psychological and structural pathways. It builds the infrastructure required to make a better world a tangible reality.